Rams won 28-20. Stafford 25-33, 258, 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams again. I mean, I know he had the 2 fumbles, but 27 carries, 152, 1 touchdown. Cooper Kupp 8 for 111 and 1 touchdown. And I know, obviously, I saw Eric Williams' article yesterday saying that Kyron Williams is giving Todd Gurley vibes, which I can see where that's
Smaller,
coming
but
from. But Gilbert, I think I saw this game when it was 20-0. And like I said, I was doing other stuff. I was at the Wild Animal Park, so I didn't see how it ended. But Jacoby Brissett, I guess, came in and gave a little bit of energy. 8 out of 10, 124, 2 touchdowns. Scary Terry, 6 catches, 141, 1 touchdown. Curtis Samuel, 5 catches, 41, 2 touchdowns. Gilbert, what the hell happened in this game?
You know, it was kind of more of the inexperienced side of the Rams. You know, outside of Stafford and Kupp and Donald, they're very young. So I think that closer mentality is they're still trying to figure it out. You know, like, it really hurt them in the beginning of the season. They had a couple of losses where because they couldn't close it out, or they're trying to rally, but a bunch of mistakes occur. So they haven't really had that in a minute. Well, I guess it did maybe in Baltimore in the overtime game or in the final drive of the regulation too. But those are signs of growing pains. But they got the job done. I think that mattered. The game was pretty much over. They probably let up there, kind of playing a soft defense that, on Raheem Morris, because Jacoby Brissett came in and just threw a couple bombs to Scary Terry, like you mentioned, and it certainly became a ball game. And for the Rams' point of view, that kind of hurt them because they're playing now on a short week against the Saints, a big time game. All of a sudden, they're both 7-7
in New Orleans.
No, in LA. So I'll be out there on Thursday. Hopefully, that's a plan. For Thursday.
Will you be there Saturday?
I don't know, but I think I'm pushing yes, because the Bills are good now, and then there's a head coaching change with the Chargers. I kind of want to see what the vibe is, but yeah, Easton Stick or Will Greer. But I'll give me a couple of days. I'm questionable, but I'm leaning yes.
And then I want to see you too. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
It's just come on, the Chargers stink. We'll get to them in a bit, but I do want to see the Bills. And the point is on the Rams, yeah, it's kind of more of a signs of growing pains, but they did the job, and they could have rested their starters in the fourth quarter. They didn't get that luxury. Hey, but they're young, right? A bunch of young guys in Stafford and Kupp and Donald. So they're very impressive for now. Like, if it gets to a point, if they beat the Saints and they beat the Giants, I don't know, they'll beat the 49ers in Santa Clara week 18. But yeah, Tommy DeVito could be something. They kind of all of a sudden DeVito loses the game. Nobody wants to talk about the Giants anymore. Funny how that works, but it was a fun story. But if they win those 2 games, they might get a chance to move to the 6th seed, Fernando, and they could play the Lions, and that could be an intriguing game there. But if the Rams play like the 49ers or the Eagles, that could be a tough matchup regardless. But they're dangerous, like Baker Mayfield said not too long ago, and they could definitely make some noise in the playoff. I'm very impressed with them. I don't know what you think about them, but they're scary offensively and a very underrated defense that needs talent, but they perform well.
Baker Mayfield, who could have thunk what would have happened? I think one person did. I don't know. But but no, I've told you all season that I think the Rams are a little bit ahead of schedule, but a veteran quarterback like that, they could make some noise. I just think they're 1 year ahead of schedule, in my opinion. I mean, they're overperforming right now. So I really am interested to see what happens moving forward with them. Like I said, I want to see Rams at Lions. I think that would be interesting.
Audition for Ben Johnson again in the playoffs. There you go.
I know exactly, but but like I said, Matthew Stafford has had I'm surprised. Well, because of the record, I guess. But I thought he's had probably a better season than most of the quarterbacks that everybody's talking about for the MVP. It's just that their record just isn't where it's supposed to be. If they would have beaten the Ravens last week, I think they'd be making a little bit more noise for him. But I definitely think that he's done a great job. I think like Cooper Kupp, everybody was kind of wondering what Cooper Kupp was going to be this season, especially after all the injuries, and he's back to playing at a high level. And then obviously,
I don't know if you saw that play, but he was super wide open on his touchdown pass. The commander just gave up.
I was a little nervous, like when Matthew Stafford threw that. I actually thought he was like he could drop it just because of how open he was. Yeah. And I was kind of like, and then he was able to make
it's like a layup in basketball. You're wide open, like exactly. You can't, but you can't dunk. You can't miss it.
Exactly. So, but like I told you, the young defense that's inexperienced or starting to gain some experience, but I'm sure they can make some noise. But everything's gonna be about Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams is going to be that engine that makes that. I think they struggled right when Kyron was out.
Yeah, they were not the same
Um,
offense.
exactly. So if he can stay healthy, I think they give you that attack that you need, the aerial attack, and then obviously on the ground. So, and then obviously they're coached by Sean McVay. So I think they're going to be fine. It's just a matter of what, obviously if they can calm the nerves. And again, jumping out to a 20-0, I think it was 20-0, but
Some
then letting them kind of stick around and everything. I mean, you were able to put it away,
yeah, you're
but
right, 20-0.
still, I mean, that's a little bit nerve wracking, just barely being able to win 28-20. But
Yeah.
hey, it happens in the NFL. Now it's a short week. Time to get on to time to get on to Thier Jesus. Time to move on to the
Saints.
Saints, like you said, on a short week. Derek Carr comes back. He beat them last Thursday night.
Oh,
Was
it's
it?
kind of like
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
of
yeah.
a revenge game for him, but
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what this Thursday is going to tell you a lot about where the Rams are kind of headed, I
yeah,
think. Because the Saints are kind of also teetering up and down a little bit. Like they
yeah,
have some good games, but then they have some stinkers as well. And you're like, so who the hell is this team? I feel like the Rams are also like kind of on that as
yeah.
well.
If you beat the Saints, you're definitely better than average. If you lose to the Saints, you're probably maybe below average or just
Yeah.
about average. Because the Saints are kind of definition of an average team. I was surprised they were still there, but hanging around because I feel like for them the only ways to get in is the division title, NFC South, and not
Yeah.
here they are. The NFC South might get two teams in because the Buccaneers are rolling and the Saints are 500. But Fernando Victor told me a stat, yesterday on House of Horns that the defenses keep playing with boxes, yeah, boxes. There you go, whatever, against Kyron Williams, and it's like having they picked up that Kyron Williams was actually the focal point of the offense. Stop playing with a light
No.
box against, and because they have respect for Stafford, Cup, and Puka, but I'm like, this team is built off of Kyron Williams. People should catch up on that. I'm not no defensive coordinator, but maybe think stop the run first and then try to beat the pass.
Athir, I'm gonna get to you in a second. We're on like as soon as we're done with Rams and we jump over to Chargers, I will answer all those.
Yeah, somebody,
So
Robert has a comment here, or he has a comment.
well, yeah, we'll get to that also in a second. But yeah, I mean, they're a good team. It's just that I think everybody's still scared of, not scared, but like what makes them nervous is like Puka Nakua and Higby and Cooper Cup, and they know the aerial attack is good. There, I think the closer and closer we get, I think like New Orleans, I bet you New Orleans will stack. Well, you're welcome, Athir. I like that. I appreciate that. I think as soon as they get to like playing the Saints, I think the Saints will stack the Bucks a little bit more. It's just also when you have talented defenses, that's what happens. I feel like the Commanders have lost a little bit of spunk since Montez Sweat, and then
Yeah,
the Bears simultaneously have gained a little bit more on defense since the
yeah.
addition of Montez Sweat. So yeah, moving forward, I think Kyron Williams is going to be a big part of this team. I think he is the focal point, but now it's going to be about short week. What can they do against the Saints? Like I said, I think the Saints game is going to tell you everything about where this Rams team is headed. But right now, it looks like it's heading to the playoffs.
Yeah, should be a fun ride. Let's see what they do in the next 2 weeks.